So good afternoon, crap to cream. Progress has been slow now, mainly due to my recovery. My sight has not been 100% after my operation, but it will get better over time, I have been assured. Anyway, so I've now managed to locate the last two in existence. Heater vent tubing or fresh air vent tubing. Managed to get them. Last two that I could find. I've also got my spark plugs now for the supercharger, so I'll put those in next when I get a chance. And I think that's about it for the bottom shed down here today. I don't think there's anything else, so I'll go up to the other shed. So I've now returned to the other shed, and the wiring stuff continues. So I've now cut away all the wiring, disconnected where I can, cut where I've had to. So it's all been disconnected now, one way or the other, ready for the new wiring loom. So this petrol pump was one that was external before, because the cabling has been extended from underneath to bring it in here, and they've put this bracket to hold it in place. So I'll have to fix that up. So I'll push the other cable through the hole here. And also this wonderful little contraption was in the boot, which my assumption is right, it came from the engine bay, and it's a carbon filter, I would believe, that was connected to the fuel tank. So underneath here, I don't know whether you can see, there's a connection to the fuel tank, so I've cut that connection and flattened the end off, because that's open to the fuel tank. I don't want that open, obviously, to atmosphere. And this is a vented cap, so it'll still breathe, right? So this was just a carbon filter that is part of the US regulations. So that joins the rest of this stuff on the floor. That I've now taken all the relays, light globes or bulbs, whatever you want to call them, out. There's part of the pipe work there from the brake line, which I've taken away. The clutch line is somewhere, because I don't need that anymore, because the new gearbox comes with the new clutch line. So yeah, I've been a bit slow on the recovery with my eye operation, so I'm being a bit sluggish with what I've got done this week. So this is where I'm up to, and now I'll just lift the car up and then remove the remainder of the front to back wiring loom. So the new one's been organised. I think I've also managed to source a later pedal box setup, so I'll be able to take all this pipe work out and take that manifold out from the other side over there, take that out, and then just one line to there, one line to the front, and then one line to the back, and have a servo here as in the later models. And yes, Carsten, you will see I have taken the heater out as you suggested. It's so whoever put it in last had decided to put some sort of goopy stuff in there that welded the heater box to the bodywork. So that was a good call, Carsten. That would have been an absolute nightmare to get out with the engine in place. So that's on the bench here now. So I've got to clean all that up. The core looks okay, so I'm not going to get too excited about that. There's no evidence of any leaks on that. So yeah, that's my progress up to this so far. So I'll update later on today when I've got all the wiring out of the front to back and got that all disconnected. But yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I've gone as far backwards as I have to. I don't know whether I'll get the engine bay painted. I know there was a suggestion to do that, but considering this was only a project to install an MX-5 gearbox and a supercharger, it seems to have got a little bit carried away. So I was going to drop the front cross member off and paint that, but I've already done the front suspension on both sides, so I don't know whether I'm too keen to do that. I found a radio antenna in the wing that had been, like, obviously they've blocked the hole up when they've done the respray, so I'm not going to put an antenna in on this right now because I've got other bigger fish to fry. So there you go, that's where I'm up to right now. I'll continue and do a little bit more of an update later on. But yeah, it's starting to look pretty bare in here, and I'll get rid of all those excess brake lines. Go for a simplified system, and I think that the people have suggested I should go back to where it was with the original, which was just a single or a two-line system coming off the master cylinder. But now I'm putting the supercharger on, I've opted to go for a servo system because that'll give me a little bit more brakes, and I've put upgraded brake rotors on the car already, so I think that's the best idea so far. And I think I found a little gold mine over in the eastern states of Australia where this guy is wrecking numerous MGBs, so he's now become a bit of a gold mine for bits that you can't get any longer. So hopefully he'll come good with the later pedal box, that I can then paint that up and install that and sort that out properly. Alright, that's enough waffling on. I'll speak to you a bit later on for the latter bit. So while I've got Rose up in the air, I thought I'd just... So this is the rebuilt front suspension that I've done. So chrome back plates, and then I've got some upgraded discs on there. Put the upgraded calipers on. The braids were already on, so yeah, so I've done that. Just got to put the locking tabs on, and then that's that completed. When that's done, so they've all been torqued up, all good. They're cross drilled and grooved rotors. So yeah, all bushes are now being replaced with nolethane, or yeah, nolethane, whatever. So that's all done now. I'm not sure I've shown this to you before, but that's it now. I've got those anti-dust but squeak-a-lot pads in. All the front to rear wiring has now been removed. I'm keeping the live cable. I've got another one which is a heavier duty, and I might put that in yet, not sure. So I think I've got enough to do it, but I'll check. So yeah, but yeah, while I was here I finished off doing the rear suspension rebuild. So I put the nolethane pads in that one, and I've now put the back shocks on. Just make sure you put the tab facing the back and not the front, so it doesn't get smashed by stones or anything else flung up from the road. And when I'm doing this, because I have to take the weight off, well, put weight on the axle to lift it, and I don't want to lift it off the hoist, I put my hand between the cover and the shock absorber so that I only lift it the minimum amount, so as I know I've got the weight off. I can just take the shock absorber off, put the new one on and drop it on, so I don't have any risk of the car falling off the hoist. So yeah, so they're both done now, the spucks, and fully to the left I think it is, and then 4 clicks to the right, and that puts it in the what they would regard as a normal setting, and not too soft and not a racing mode. So that's what they are, and they're the old Spax adjustables. So there you go. So that's all that done now, and all the wiring's been removed out of the back now, as I was mentioning earlier before. So what was turning out, well, what was going to be a simple job, yeah, has turned out into like a complete rewire now, so that we get everything right and working as it should do, because before the electrics was a bit dodgy on this one, where was a bit dodgy, so different light switches work different things that they shouldn't do, and the side lights didn't work and things like that. So I got it right so I could get over the pits, but yeah, as for doing anything else with the car, it just proved a little bit of a nightmare. So I've now, yeah, complete rewire, simplify the brake system and put a servo on. Don't think there's anything else to do there. Replace the oil cooler. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got to report on today. Oh, I found a bit of rust under the front carpet, So I've now been and got some rust guard, which I'll give it a bit of a clean, a bit of a scrape. There's no, it's not too bad. It's surface rust. It hasn't gone through anywhere, and I don't really want to go scraping too hard and punch holes in things. One thing I did find that was missed as part of the pits inspection was this little friend up here. I'm not sure whether you can see that. So I'm going to have to cut a section out of there and weld it in. The top's all good. It's just this little piece here. The other side's fine. Yeah, so I'll have to cut a section out there and weld a patch in, or weld a patch over. But I'll weld a patch in because that'll look neater. But yeah, I found that. Great picture of joy there. The rest of it's okay. So it looks really, really good outside, but there's a couple of little hidden things, I suppose, that you always find with a car of this age. So anyway, that's that. Done deal. Thank you very much indeed for subscribers. You got me past that magic number, the 666 number. So I've got 668 subscribers now, so thank you very much. Yeah, don't like, I'm a bit superstitious when it comes to things like that. So yeah, it's all good. Thank you, and I'll catch you next week. Site is improving no end at all now, so I should be back firing on all cylinders. And when I get my new bits delivered, I can then start putting stuff back together again. All right, thank you, and I know it's Friday and it more likely could get seen any time of the week, but have a nice weekend. Bye for now.